Hey guys, welcome back to Katie's Book Nook. My name is Katie, and I'm here today to just go over some of the Christmas classic and picture books that I own. If you have any suggestions that are not on this list, please let me know. I would love to add to my collection. I do have a handful of books from childhood that are at my parents' house, so maybe I'll grab those, when I'm visiting this weekend. But this is just what I have at my place. I apologize for the mess in the back. Those presents are going to get wrapped this weekend. So I've been kind of like sorting things all over the place, so I know who's getting what and all that stuff. So that's what that mess is over there. But yeah, I just want to get into a couple of the books that I currently have at my house and the books that I've read. Some of them I haven't read yet. But I'm always looking to collect Christmas stories. So please let me know if you have any of these or any other recommendations. So I'm going to do the adulty ones first, and then I'll go into the picture books. So first one is the quintessential A Christmas Carol that chimes in the Cricket on the Hearth by Charles Dickens. I've actually only read A Christmas Carol and Cricket on the Hearth. I haven't read the chimes yet, but maybe I'll get to it this year. But this is the Barnes & Noble Classic Edition. It's pretty quick. I read this last year in print form, and I try to read it every couple of years. This one has like illustrations in it. The text is a decent size, and I love the story of A Christmas Carol. My video from earlier in the week talks about all the different versions of the movie that I watch and love. So this is definitely an important thing for any Christmas lover. So as a lover of books and a lover of Christmas, definitely recommend having a copy of The Christmas Carol. And the Barnes & Noble editions are fine. I'm sure that there are prettier ones out there, but for this purpose, it does the job. Okay. Now, these are, I think they're Penguin Christmas Classic Editions, what they're called. And there's a couple books in this set, and I only have 2 right now. So I'm hoping to add to them, in years to come. So the first one is A Merry Christmas and Other Christmas Stories by Louisa May Alcott, who is the author of Little Women. And these editions are just so cute. They're smaller than a regular size book. The covers are all just like very Christmassy. They have birds. The ones that I have right now have birds on them. I don't know if that's throughout the series or just the ones that I have. But this one has like 6 or 7 short stories in them. And I just really love Louisa May Alcott's writing. I've read some of these before, but I haven't read them all from this book. These are pretty recent acquisitions, and I'm looking forward to sitting down and reading at least maybe like 1 or 2 of them over the course of Christmas time. And the other book that I have in that Penguin Christmas Classic series is The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus by L. Frank Baum. He is the author of Wizard of Oz. And again, I haven't read this one, but there was a Christmas special. I think it's one of those like Rankin Bass claymation-y ones from the 1970s. And I looked inside this one, and it separates Santa's life into different stages. So there's different parts, and I don't know if you can really see that there. But the first one is youth, then manhood, and then at the end it's old age. So it's all about how, I guess, Santa came to be who he is and all that stuff. So, and the sections are actually pretty short. The book itself is only 158 pages, and again, they're smaller pages than an average book. But hoping to get through these, over the course of this year. Now, I also picked up this copy, which I did like 2 weeks ago at Barnes & Noble, and I just thought it was beautiful. This is another like Barnes & Noble edition, but it's the Nutcracker, who is by Dumas, and I had no idea that this book was Alexander Dumas. I never read the story. I honestly had no idea that it was a book until my friend and I went to go see the Disney Nutcracker movie that just came out. It's very weird. But I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea, because then, of course, when I see a movie, I tend to research it. That's just like my historian/teacher brain going. And I had no idea that it was a story by Dumas first. So it was actually published in 1847. And this one just has like the pretty gilded pages. I don't know if you can really see in this light. And just illustrations as well. So this would definitely be a good cozy read. I loved the Nutcracker like ballet when I was a kid, which is on Netflix right now, and Macaulay Culkin is actually in it, which is kind of funny. But they used to play it on PBS or A&E or one of those channels when I was a little girl, and I just loved watching it. So finding this was really, really special, and I'm pretty excited that I found it. And then finally, I got The Greatest Gift, A Christmas Tale by Philip Van Doren Stern, and it's apparently what the movie It's a Wonderful Life was based on. So I love that movie. That movie I can watch all year round. Love George Bailey. So this was a pretty cool find, and I'm glad that I grabbed it. Again, have not read it. I picked all these up like somewhat recently. So pretty excited about that. So I found a lot of good adult Christmas books. But if you have a suggestion, let me know. I do have a couple like mysteries and like romance novels that are Christmassy related, but I'm not including it in this video just because I have like the classics and then classic picture books as well. So this one, my cover got so messed up. I put it in a box to like move it here when we first moved in, and the cover got messed up. So this is so sad for me. But it's the Polar Express, which is, you know, a lot of people have really good memories of this book. I'm not big on the movie. I never saw it in theaters, and this book came out like actually before I was born. I just checked the publishing date, and we just always read it growing up. The movie is a little out there for me. It's not my favorite, but I definitely recommend this if you have children or if you work with children. This is a really good thing to have in your collection. Or not. I mean, or if you just like Christmas books, I would really go for the Polar Express. I have the book edition of A Charlie Brown Christmas, which is also one of my favorites. We are big Charlie Brown people in my house. You can kind of see I have like mechanical Charlie Brown characters there, which still don't have batteries in them, but I have to put them together. So love Charlie Brown, love Snoopy. It's a good addition to have. I also have the Dr. Seuss book, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I worked at Kohl's, the department store, for a good 10 years, and this is one of their Kohl's Cares for Kids items. So it was only $5, and it's just like a really nice classic to have. Again, I watched the 1960s cartoon. I have never seen the Jim Carrey version, and I don't know how I feel about the Benedict Cumberbatch movie of The Grinch, but the Dr. Seuss book is great. And I also I have a lot of these at my parents' house, but they're still there. So I picked up this. This is Jan Brett's The Night Before Christmas. The illustrations in this are just so good, and they're so vibrant. Very Scandinavian pictures, and the artwork is just beautiful. And again, we're big Jan Brett fans. Here's like some of the illustrations. And it's based on the poem by Clement Moore, so there's that too. Yeah, so there's some beauty in here for sure. This one I got through Scholastic. Again, very cheap, so I was thrilled to pick this up. This I got for my husband last year. My husband is a huge Tolkien fan, and he had no idea that this existed. So this is the Letters from Father Christmas by J.R.R. Tolkien, and it was addressed to his children. So he had written a bunch of letters to his kids, and it has the letters and then some pictures, illustrations that he did. So this was just a really cool thing. We have a big like Tolkien section of our library because he's my husband's favorite author. So this was really nice, and I think it's beautiful. And then finally, this is a book that I just got pretty recently, but it's The Story of Holly and Ivy by Rumor Godden. This was made into a TV special when I was a little kid in like the early 90s, I think 91 or 92. And it's about a little girl who's an orphan, and she keeps thinking she's getting sent signs about her family, and it's just like a beautiful story. Rumor Godden writes beautiful books. So if you're not familiar with this, I'll see if I can find a link. They had it on YouTube a couple years ago. I don't know if it's still up there or not, but it's just like a really cute Christmassy special. So this book is also beautiful. The illustrations are gorgeous, and I highly recommend it if you are interested. Here's a little bit of a scene. And it's like long, but not, it's long for a picture book, but it's not terribly long. And it could even be broken up into like a couple nights if you're reading this to a little one out loud. So those are my Christmassy classics and my picture books that I have where I live. Again, I have other books at my parents' house, so if I can bring them home this weekend, I will try to do that. But I hope you all have a restful weekend. I'm going to continue with my Anya Seton read and my Allison Goodman read. So that's my plan, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Have a lovely evening.